Alright, hello guys, we're back. Got a whole nother whopping 5 minutes to keep going. But as I was saying, this remote wire here, whenever your radio gets turned on, it turns the amplifier on. So what you need to do to bypass that, since you don't have a radio to turn it on, is you need to bridge it here into your amplifier. But now, what that does is means when this gets power, it's gonna bridge the power over into the remote area, and that would give you your power. Now, if you hook this up to a AC to DC converter, and you wanted to not have it idle all the time, so when you want it off, it would shut off instead of just constantly getting power from your converter over to here. Even though most converters have an on-off switch, just to say you forgot to. You want to leave that on, but have the amplifier be able to turn the amplifier on and off independently. All you need to do is put a toggle switch on this, toggle it on to turn it on, and toggle it off to shut it off. But I don't see why you would, considering you could turn your power supply on and off. But then you can see these two wires right here that I have put together with, I don't even know what type of wire this is. I found this off of some cheap, like, wall wart cord, cut it, stripped it into two pieces, and soldered and heat shrink them together so that when they're like this, they don't touch and short out the power supply, because when I first got this and I wanted to see if it would work, they would touch and short out the supply. But if we follow these coming all around, but before we do that, might as well tell you what they do. Those two wires are like the on-off switch to the power supply. That is what would go to the That is what would be reading for the button on the Xbox whenever you hit the power button on the Xbox and turn the Xbox on. That's what this is doing. So this is your on and your off. Generally, you can go by red as positive, blue as negative, but oh well. And what I did here is I took those all the way around and put them into this switch here. And so if I were to flip this switch right now, you can see the amplifier comes on, and if I switch it off, shuts the amplifier off. So that's how I keep mine from idling on and off. And again, since this is a stupid project that most of you won't keep, I decided to keep mine because I like my, oh god, excuse me, sorry. I like to keep my music, and whenever I watch movies on my computer or play a game, that extra little bass, even though this is a lot of extra little bass, I just like it a little more than the little tiny 3-inch speaker that came with the speakers I'm using now. Came with like a little tiny 3-inch woofer. That thing banged, but not as much as I wanted it to. So anyways, that's how this is set up. You basically just strip these, put your black into your ground, your yellow into your positive, and then you bridge your remote, and like I said, same thing goes, hold up, I'm trying to move here. Same thing goes with, turning this thing on and off. You can actually twist these two together, but then your power supply would constantly be on. It would always be on. And, you know, these things have a reputation for getting a little bit hot to a point where they just don't work no more. And you could just you could split that and put a switch on there, and that would be your on and off for your amplifier. But then you have this cord right here, which is an RCA to, if you follow that all the way back there, that's going to the back of my computer, and that is a RCA to 3mm jack. And now RCA cables are what's used to get the audio. So, computers don't have RCA cables in the back of them, so you can't do RCA to RCA. But that here will act as your headphone jack in the back of your computer, and then you'll get your audio from there. I have to cut this again. I'm sorry these are short videos, but my phone's gonna bitch and whine and then just cut it off on a mid-sentence. So I'll be right back on how to get the audio into the amplifier.